for yourself. Stop in or order online at NicoletteMacrones.com.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
And welcome to Living Healthy and Aging Well. My name is Ken Haglind, and we are broadcasting from the AM 950 radio station that overlooks Bryant Lake Regional Park, located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. It is another beautiful day here in the Twin Cities, and I am so grateful to be here with you today, and I hope all of you listening are doing well. We are on the air every Saturday from noon to 1 to talk about your health and your life. We cover a wide range of topics to help you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. We have another great show for you today. Joining me in a few minutes will be Rebecca Randen. She is the attorney and owner of Randen Family Law, and she's also training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute. And she is here to talk about collaborative divorce and Minnesota's growing collaborative law community. With divorce rates on the rise in the senior population, collaborative divorce is a respectful and private alternative to adversarial law, family law, and litigation. Rebecca has practiced family law for over 10 years and is an experienced family law attorney practicing in Edina, Minnesota. Rebecca's practice has evolved to include more collaborative cases which support clients and their families going through divorce or legal separation in a process that focuses on interest-based negotiating, respectful communication, and use of neutrals. You'll enjoy listening to my conversation today with Rebecca Randen. I want to thank all of you that leave us messages on our radio show phone line. We appreciate hearing from you, and we welcome your comments, questions, and topics for future shows. Also, if you are interested in being a guest on our radio show, please call or text us at 612-999-3426. You can also contact us through our website at livinghealthyradio.com. There you can find information about upcoming guests as well as listen to our previous shows, and we look forward to hearing from you. We are adding new listeners to the show each week, not only here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, but also throughout the country. You can find podcasts for all of our radio shows on the AM 950 radio website, and we could also be found on your favorite streaming services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, many others. You can also watch our broadcast live on the radio station's Facebook page at AM 950 Radio. If you have a question for us today, there are two ways to reach us. First, by calling the AM 950 radio station, and our friendly show producer, Tom, will get your call on the air. Our phone number is 952-946-6205. Or you can text us your question at 612-999-3426. Now, don't worry. If you missed our contact numbers, I'll repeat them throughout the show. All right. I am excited to welcome my guest for today. It's Rebecca Randen, attorney and owner of Randen Family Law, and she's also the training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute. Welcome to the show, Rebecca.
Thank you, Ken. It's my honor to be here.
All right. First of all, what is the role of a training chair?
Yeah.
Of the Institute. Now, I'm just curious because people I'm sure are asking, training chair, what does that mean? And then we'll get more into about your background here, but I want to just cover that first.
Yeah, so I am one of the kind of two primary trainers for Collaborative Law Institute, and I have been for the last several years. And my colleague, Louise Livesay, and I kind of share the annual training burden. It's not actually a burden. It's a lot of fun. But we typically train groups of between 8 and 15 professionals each year who are ready to make the shift to practicing collaborative family law. And that's attorneys, financial professionals, and mental health professionals. So we just concluded this year's training. It's called our new Collaborative Experience Training in April.
All right. Well, good. Well, first of all, I know the audience just loves to learn about the guests on the show, and so would you just give us a brief background of Rebecca?
Sure. I grew up in Rochester, Minnesota, and was a latchkey 80s kid. My brother and sister and we laugh about that a lot, but we're very close. And Mom was a nurse at Mayo Clinic. My dad worked for the local government as a computer programmer, and really grew up. Rochester is really a service-oriented community. So I've always had that kind of service-oriented bend, and I think a lot of folks who grew up in Rochester are probably the same way. And came and attended the University of Minnesota and studied actually Spanish studies. That was my undergrad. And worked for American Cancer Society for about 7 years. I worked directly with patients and patient service, and also doing some community education. And my husband encouraged me to go kind of look into graduate school. I'd always thought about law school. It just was something I never really thought about doing, but was always curious about. And so nobody in our family, at least in my immediate family, had completed graduate school, but with my husband's encouragement, I kind of took the LSAT and attended law school and just loved it and fell into doing family law. So I still work, I volunteer a lot outside of the work I do as an attorney. Like this morning, I was at La Nueva Esperanza. It's a support group and 501c3 that's been going strong for 20 years. It's a support group for Spanish speakers facing cancer. So I still volunteer with the cancer community in the Twin Cities, and also do free legal clinics once a month through the Twin Cities Men's Center. So I love volunteering. I love giving my time back to my community, and I always strive to do as much pro bono work as I can.
We've had the Twin Cities Men's Center group here a couple times.
Wonderful.
Over the years. Yeah. What a great leadership group they have.
Yeah. Do you know Tom Marr over at the Twin Cities Men's Center?
Yes. In fact, I met him at the state fair when they had their kind of the mental health day, the first Monday of the state fair. And I said, you've got to come on the radio show. And he's been on here twice now. And what a great, that is just a great commitment and vision they have for people. And they're starting up now a women's group. So it's been men for years, but they just, in fact, the last show we had the gal that's starting up the women's side of that.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So just, again, trying to get people to get connected and restored. And
most people don't know that the legal clinic that we run once a month and it's online now after COVID, everything kind of shifted that way. Right. But women are also more than welcome to attend the legal clinic. If you go to their website, you can see when we host each month. So give a shout out to them too.
Yeah. No. Okay, so you have something with them as well on a monthly basis.
I'm one of the two family law attorneys who volunteers primarily. The other one is Tracy Verconde. She's an excellent attorney over at Tarshish Cody.
Okay.
And she and I kind of co-host that monthly family law legal clinic. It's a free legal clinic, and it's been just a wonderful experience. I think I've been doing it for 6 years now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so where would people find that? On the website, where would they find that?
On the so they'd have to go to the Twin Cities Men's Center website, and they have a calendar of all of the upcoming clinics.
Yeah. That's true. They do have a good calendar there, because there was a lot of things going on the last time they were here on the show.
Yeah.
What great people! Wow,
they
just do amazing work, and they really help people overcome a lot of things.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what inspired you to really pursue this and to go into this collaborative law? It's a new thing for me. That's why I wanted to have you on the show, is that you said, I'm part of a collaborative law group. And I go, what is that? Because I'm always thinking, and most people probably think the same thing, law it's adversarial. And it doesn't always have to be it, you said.
No. And I think in many cases it shouldn't be. And I kind of fell into it because when I started practicing family law about 12 years ago, I was in the same physical space where the Collaborative Alliance was. and that was kind of a shared workspace or a suite of offices that housed a lot of collaborative professionals. And I just, by virtue of being in the same space, kind of fell in with the crowd of folks who value, I guess, that approach more. And I think they really, the folks who were the early pioneers of collaborative divorce law and that work in Minnesota, they were in that space, and a lot of them have retired since then.
Yeah, okay.
So they kind of, I think I just fell into it because of my people skills. They kind of noted that Rebecca's empathetic, or she values, she's a great listener, and probably would, that's a great skill set to have as a collaborative professional.
Yeah. We only have about a minute left here. How long has the collaborative been around?
Gosh, it's been since, I think, 1991.
Okay.
Yeah, 1990. So it's been around for
36 years.
Yes, exactly. Long time.
And it was started by a gentleman named Stu Webb, right?
Yes, okay. Stu Webb. He's a national treasure.
Yeah, and I think you've got a video of him on the website. Let's remind people how they can get more information here before the first break. It's collaborativelaw.org.
Yes.
So one word, collaborativelaw.org. And we'll talk more about the website and resources and things as we go through the show here. All right, folks, it's time for a short break. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Rebecca Randen. She is the attorney and owner of Randen Family Law, and she's also the training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute. And she's here today talking about the collaborative divorce process and how Minnesota's growing collaborative law community is helping support people, especially elderly people that are going through a divorce. If you have a question for Rebecca, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you're listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hi, Francois. Isn't this a beautiful wedding?
Oui, Laura, mais viens vite avec moi.
Where are we going? We're not supposed to be to the reception yet.
Regarde ces tours de macarons de chez Nicolette's.
Oh, wow, look at these macaroon towers from Nicolette's. How many macaroons are there?
Celui-ci, 220, et celui-là, 85.
220 and 85, and the colors match the wedding colors.
Et ils ont inscrit leur nom sur le macaron.
Oh, and they wrote their names on the macaroons, too. Order yours today at nicoletsmacaroons.com.
At Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, we believe that a working fire can bring comfort, warmth, and security to your life. At Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, we have the know-how to make this work for you. Talk to us at the store or visit online. Share your photos and ideas. Discuss the choices, ask questions, and get an estimate. We also do free visits to your home. We gather all the details to ensure a smooth and safe installation.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces installed our wood stove years ago, and we still love it. Watching the fire, feeling the heat, it's a joy we experience every day, and knowing we have a reliable heat source makes us feel extra snug and safe.
At Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, we display over 180 models in diverse styles, with over 35 of these burning so you can experience the glow and warmth of a live fire.
Whether wood, gas, or electric, find a fire that warms your heart, a fire that adds comfort and security to your life. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis, and online at woodlandstoves.com.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. So avoid gimmicks and call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067, or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
Hey, it's Patrick. It's May, and you may have fallen behind on your spring cleaning without even realizing it. But that's no problem because my cleaning heroes at Zero Res are here to help. Don't look now, but all those summertime activities are closing in fast. You might be having a graduation party at your house, or maybe a Memorial Day weekend barbecue, and you want your house to look top-notch for those friends and family coming to visit. Zero Res can take care of any service in your home, from carpet, tile, rock, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, grout, and more. So don't put off spring cleaning any longer and don't miss this deal. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a $599 whole system air duct cleaning. Call 9520-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Rebecca Randen. She is attorney and owner of Randen Family Law, and she's also the training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute. And she is here today talking about the collaborative divorce process and also about Minnesota's growing collaborative law communities. So if you have any questions, and I know a lot of you do, give us a call. This is a great chance to have to talk to her and ask questions about another way of approaching very challenging situations in your life. Rebecca, how can our listeners contact you if they have questions or want more information about your work or the collaborative?
Absolutely. So if I have my primary website, which is Randen Family Law, or randenlaw.com rather. But I have my own profile on the collaborativelaw.org website, where there is also a database where they can find professionals. And so if they're looking to start a collaborative divorce, they can start that with either attorneys. They can start working with a child specialist who's a neutral, or they can also come in through a financial neutral. And the financial neutrals listed, most of them have their CDFA, Certified Divorce Financial Analyst certification. And so those are 3 different ways people can kind of come into the process. And the website, which is actually going to be revamped pretty soon, it's pretty user-friendly. You can go and look under resources, or there's a tab that says Find a Professional. And if you click on that, on
the main page here, the home page.
There's a directory of all of our active members.
Oh, got it. Okay. So you can just pick, which one you're looking for here. Mm-hmm. Okay. By profession. Yep. Okay. Yeah. By name. Okay. Fantastic. And again, you've got your Randen Family Law, which is randenlaw.com, and that's to get a hold of you directly. Mm-hmm. Okay, fantastic. Yep. All right. I'm really curious about the Collaborative Law Institute.
Yeah.
It sounds like that's a really interesting approach. It's another alternative for people to consider when they're facing this situation. Tell us more about the Collaborative Law Institute.
Yeah. So the Collaborative Law Institute grew out of, again, the efforts of one man, Stu Webb, back in 1990. And the story goes, Stu had just concluded a very acrimonious and difficult divorce trial. And by all measurements of success as an attorney, it could have been said that his client won the case. And Stu said that after that trial concluded, he just felt so down about it. He said he really did not feel like he won or that the family won. And it was so profound, that feeling, that he just came to the conclusion that there had to be a better alternative. And he put a tremendous amount of thought and energy into this and came up with the concept of handling matters collaboratively, which is, it sounds like, a brand new concept. And it, for family law at the time, it kind of was. But I think to simplify it, it can be best thought of as an expanded mediation, or alternative dispute resolution process that is supported by professionals, and it, goes on longer than your standard 3-hour or 4-hour mediation session. It's truly a process. And so Stu drafted a letter and sent it to Supreme Court Justice Sandy Keith and said we really need to introduce this to family law. And the response was positive, and it was endorsed by Justice Keith. And collaborative practice became part of, there are rules governing it, and, we are governed by, I would consider them to be even more stringent rules of professional conduct. But, it's something that grew out of Stu's efforts back in 1990. And then the people who started practicing, a lot of them have since retired, but around a similar amount of time, I think in California, there was this concept of the team approach, which brought in other professionals, not just attorneys. So the financial professional, maybe a coach who can be thought of as kind of the concierge of the process in case things are going off the rails, and a mental health professional or a child specialist who can help with creating a parenting plan or helping parties to identify a parenting schedule. And the beauty in the process is that when we have these difficult cases, the attorneys are not at odds with each other, and they're not acting as the avatar for their client. And it all starts with the parties selecting, either they're coming in again through the financial neutral, the mental health professional, or the attorneys, but eventually to have a fully collaborative process. Everybody, meaning the two attorneys and the two parties, are at a commencement meeting, and everyone signs a joint petition. So instead of having a petitioner and a respondent and having that situation where somebody needs to be served with divorce papers, everybody's starting out at the same level, I guess, on the same level, on the same playing field, and there's no sense of, I'm on my heels because I've been served with the divorce papers, because we are co-petitioners.
Now, when you use the word neutral, could you describe that for us, what the word neutral means in this context?
Yeah, a neutral person, in this case, it's going to be a financial neutral or a child specialist, and sometimes we have a coach involved for more difficult cases. But these people do really the heavy lifting. It's not the attorneys doing the heavy lifting. They're there in a supportive role to provide advice, legal advice, to the clients. But the neutral is there to meet with parties, often without the attorneys present. So one neutral chosen by both parties creates a work product for the parties without the two attorneys really present for much of that. And because of that neutrality, there's buy-in from both parties, there's trust, and there's transparency. And that is what makes the process so successful.
And that can also be for the plan for the children. It can also be done with a neutral, or is that primarily with the attorneys?
With the neutral.
With the neutral. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
And we can absolutely talk more about that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is just a different approach than what I've heard and used to. So great. All right, time for a short break. The music is cueing us out here, Rebecca. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Rebecca Randen, attorney and owner of Randen Family Law, and she's also the training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute. And she's here talking about collaborative divorce and Minnesota's growing collaborative law community. If you have a question for Rebecca, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
There really is no place like home. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Home Health. When you're faced with an illness or an injury, being able to stay at home and receive care is important. Our home health offers a wide range of services, including skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapies, aides, homemakers, in-home respite care, and 24/7 live-in care. We'll work closely with your primary care provider to come up with an individualized plan for you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Hey, it's Patrick. It's May, and you may have fallen behind on your spring cleaning without even realizing it. But that's no problem because my cleaning heroes at Zero Res are here to help. Don't look now, but all those summertime activities are closing in fast. You might be having a graduation party at your house, or maybe a Memorial Day weekend barbecue, and you want your house to look top-notch for those friends and family coming to visit. Zero Res can take care of any service in your home, from carpet, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, grout, and more. So don't put off spring cleaning any longer, and don't miss this deal. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $139 plus a $599 whole system air duct cleaning. Call 952-ZERO-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
As winter bids farewell, step into spring adventure with Next Chapter Booksellers. They're more than just a bookstore. It's your hub for spring fun. Discover bestsellers, attend in-store events like meet and greets with authors, join book clubs, and delight in children's story time. Challenge your mind with a fun puzzle or get a board game for those rainy spring days. There's no shortage of things to do at Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand in St. Paul or nextchapterbooksellers.com.
10,000 Things Theater brings their signature style for an encore production of a Frank Lesser show that is not done nearly often enough. The Most Happy Fella. This is the story of a waitress who finds a note and begins a letter-writing relationship that leads to... well, I can't tell you that. Come see it. Starring Sasha Andreev, Nora Long, Susie Jewell, and Pedro Arbeon. Public performances begin May 14th at Open Book on Washington Avenue in Minneapolis. Get your tickets and see the performance schedule at 10,000things.org.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. I want to tell you about a better, more environmentally friendly way to care for your lawn with Natural Lawn. Natural Lawn has been treating Minnesota lawns for more than 20 years with organic-based natural products that feed the soil without unnecessary chemicals. That means an envy-worthy, healthier lawn that's safer for your family and your furry friends. Natural Lawn has no contracts and is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. So let Natural Lawn handle your lawn care so you can enjoy your lawn. More at naturalawn.com.
From the AM 950 Weather Center, I'm Tom Winston. Today a sunny day, high 81. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 57. And for tomorrow, some morning showers, afternoon storms, high 74. Discover macarons like you've never tasted before at Nicolette's Macarons in Plymouth. Pick up a box of elegant French macarons conveniently located off Highway 169. Perfect for gifts, corporate events, or just for yourself. Stop in or order online at nicoletsmacarons.com.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Saturday. All right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Rebecca Randen. She is attorney and owner of Randen Law. God, I make that mistake every time. Randen Family Law. Your website's Randen Law.
It is. It's confusing.
It's Randen Family Law, and she's also the training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute. So we're flipping between 2 different websites here today. If you're following along, and she's here talking about collaborative divorce and also Minnesota's growing collaborative law community. And it's a fascinating area, and we're going to continue to get into this here in the next 2 segments. But before we return to our conversation with Rebecca, I want to mention this radio show is brought to you in part each week by Minnesota Hospice. Minnesota Hospice is an independent, locally owned medical practice serving our Twin Cities communities with comprehensive end-of-life health care. The team at Minnesota Hospice provides patients and family members with award-winning end-of-life health care services. You may not be aware that hospice brings compassionate medical, social, emotional, and spiritual services to your home with typically no cost to you or your family. Please do not wait to learn how hospice care can benefit you and your loved ones. If you have any questions regarding end-of-life care or support, please contact the compassionate team of experts at Minnesota Hospice. They have registered nurses available to answer your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Their phone number is 952-898-1022. or visit them online at minnesotahospice.com. All right, let's return to our conversation with Rebecca. If you have a question for us, 952-946-6205 or text us at 612-999-3426. Rebecca, how can our listeners contact you if they have questions or want more information?
Sure. So if they have questions about collaborative law, I would direct them to the website, which is
collaborativelaw.org.
You got it.
So it's org, folks. Collaborativelaw.org.
Yes, and then mine is
yours. If they want to contact you directly,
randenlaw.com. And you can call me. My number is on there. My email address should be on there. And also there's like a direct contact form through the site that you can use as well.
Yep, fantastic. Okay, great. And there's your picture. Wonderful. All right. So there's two ways to kind of connect with you. So if a person is kind of exploring, well, what is this collaborative law? Mm-hmm. Again, we're going to talk this segment about what are these services that you guys provide. And again, it's a new concept for, I think, a lot of people, even though it's been around for 35 years.
Yeah.
In Minnesota, at least. And it's in doing some looking on your website, there's like 90 other collaboratives around the world, right?
The world, yes. There's a huge presence in Canada, in Brazil, in Asia. I mean, it's everywhere.
Wow.
And it really is. And the thing is, I don't know how it's been such a well-kept secret because it's such a great process. But one interesting fact, for example, the International Academy of Collaborative Professionals, or IACP, was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize a few years ago. So, yeah, it's tremendous work. And if you think about the number of people or the rate of divorce in this country and really around the world, trying to remove the acrimony and to improve the experience of these people's lives as they go through what is arguably one of the most challenging things somebody can go through in their lifetime, it makes the world a better place. And it makes things better for the children of these families who are going through divorce because the process is at its center a child-focused process. And so I can't think of there are many worthwhile organizations. We ultimately didn't receive the Nobel Peace Prize, but it's not a surprise that we were nominated because of the good work that is done to, reform how people go through divorce and separation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's such an important topic. As I was doing some research before the show, about 50% of marriages end in divorce, 65% of second marriages end in divorce, and 75% of third marriages end in divorce. So if you're thinking of this as like an investment or anything, you would never do it because the odds are not in your favor.
No. And, it's so funny. I've been married it'll be 20 years next July. And, yeah, I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I remember on my wedding day, and I remember my dad, just before he walked me down the aisle, turned to me and said, good luck. You stand just as good a chance as anybody else. I think that was the last thing I remember him saying to me before I got married, but I still remember him telling me that. And, I mean, he was right. He's, it wasn't maybe the most romantic thing to say, but it was certainly practical, I guess.
Wow. It's just like a flip of a coin, heads or tails. I mean, it's crazy. And
it does seem crazy.
But then you think about it. There's only two ways that a marriage ends.
Yeah.
Death or divorce.
Yeah.
And really, you should go planning for that. So I know that other people that have been on the show here really encourage prenups. Mm-hmm. Put it in writing, especially if you're a blended family. There's just so many complications. And I think what I hear from other people, just friends and people I know, is that it takes the romance out of the relationship to bring it up. And I think that's one of the first things you should bring up in a sense of going, hey, if this is going to be a long-term thing, how do you protect yourself and let's get this worked out because it's so much easier to do it
Yeah.
on the front end than what I've heard on the back end.
Yeah, I mean, so prenups, and I do draft prenups for people, and I think they're great, but I also feel like if there was just some education on the front end before people get married about what marital property is and what it is not. So a lot of what a prenup does is reinforce the laws that already protect, or the rules that already protect people's non-marital property. Without getting too technical about it, oftentimes people come in when they're going through a divorce and say to me, I wish I would have known that I shouldn't have put in my inheritance dollars that I got into the shared account. I wish I would have known that I needed to keep the statement from the sale of my first house.
Yes.
And they, because you can't go back more than 7 years for a lot of
That's
these
right.
records.
These closing companies close. I mean, they
shift, they change ownership.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't have, if you don't keep that document, you can't resurrect that document.
No, you can't. And then it's basically, I mean, the best evidence is your testimony. And it's just something where I feel like people, even if they didn't have a prenup, if there was just some very basic education about these things before people get married, and I think we talked before the show about there's a woeful lack of education about relationships in general. People have this romantic idea about marriage, and, they've been sold this fairy tale, and they haven't had any education about what it is to be in a serious relationship, practically speaking, and just how to be a good friend or a good partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard another one of my good friends said, don't marry the person you have a lot of fun with. Because marriage is just not all fun. You want to marry the person that'll stand beside you when things are tough.
Yeah.
When the road gets rough, who's going to be there with you? That's the person you want to marry.
Yeah.
So, again, just from anecdotal advice and just people's experiences.
I think there's wisdom in that. And I often think about, arranged marriages in other countries and how the success rate of those arranged marriages can often be higher than because they're not going into it with the same kind of expectations and that we place on our partners or on our marriages and relationships. It's a practical matter.
Yes, yeah. And we talked off the air that one of my good friends said that women think men will change and they don't. Men think women won't change and they do. And again, it sets up just already a tough expectation to try to navigate through. Mm-hmm. Although in my business, I've had people that have been married 70 years holding hands at the bedside.
Yes.
And our nurse will say, that's amazing, 70 years. And the wife will turn to her and say, honey, 70 years is not enough.
Yeah.
And you think, oh my gosh,
yeah.
that kind of love is still
beautiful.
Out there.
It
right.
is.
Right. So again, people aspire to that, and but there's just a lot of tough things in the road sometimes to get to that point.
So many tough things in our personal lives, in our society, and within our own, religious upbringings and expectations.
Yeah.
There's a lot of financial pressure on folks right now. There's a lot of pressure in the world right now.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard time right now. And so people have that additional layer of stress on top of, just regular stress on a marriage.
Yeah, yeah. So, interestingly, I know several people who got divorced and remarried their partner.
Yeah. Which
I think is just fascinating.
Yes.
That they go through that process and then realize, actually, it wasn't as bad maybe, or you mature and learn during the process.
Yeah.
That you didn't really maybe had that perspective beforehand.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I know of people like that, and I always think that's so wonderful. Yeah, it's very romantic.
Right. You just give them another shot there and
do a little growing up.
Well, I think, as we've talked off the air, so much of the things you have in childhood that never got resolved.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how things come out at 30s, 40s, 50s, and you go, wow, that should have been maybe dealt with earlier. It's almost like you want to get the therapy before you get married, and so you have a clear-eyed vision of when you go into this.
Yes, absolutely.
This amazing agreement.
Yeah, it's a huge. Marriage it's a huge partnership in every sense of the word. So disentangling that is, it shouldn't be done casually or cruelly, and especially when kids are involved, it deserves respect.
Yeah. We're just about at the end of this segment here. But again, this collaborative approach brings in people that can help, like a financial neutral, someone helping the parenting plan, someone who can be a coach.
Yeah.
It really is taking the adversarial approach and really trying to be on a team approach. So we're going to solve this together.
And we can talk about that's kind of the Cadillac approach is, a full team. It's not always necessary.
Right.
And it's really what you need. You can pick and choose.
Yeah. All right. Time for a short break, folks. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Rebecca Randen, attorney and owner of Randen Family Law. And she is here talking about collaborative divorce. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hi, I'm Mary T. Caring for others runs deep in my family. My grandmother, Rosa, was a nurse who cared for people in their homes more than a century ago. Inspired by her compassion, my mother, Margaret, and I founded the Mary T. family of companies nearly 50 years ago. Today, we continue that legacy across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Arizona, providing senior living, assisted living with memory care, home health, hospice care, rental housing, and support for people with disabilities. Each service is personal, creative, and focuses on the unique needs of those we serve. We also believe in joy and community, which is why we opened Crooner Supper Club in Fridley, a place to celebrate life with music, laughter, and connection. At Mary T., we're proud to be a Minnesota family company rooted in compassion, inclusion, and respect, and proud supporters of AM 950 and the values that this station represents. Visit MaryTinc.com to learn more.
Congratulations to Mary T., named one of the most admired CEOs of 2026 by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal.
Are you planning a gathering for your family, friends, or work? Then reserve space at the Park Tavern. The Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces, and they can accommodate any size party, large or small. They have bowling, food, and beverage packages for any budget. And remember, there are no room fees and no minimum spending requirements. And for more information or to schedule an event, call 952-929-6810 or go to parktavern.net. Make your next get-together the best get-together with help from the Park Tavern.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community. And we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
Don't throw another boring party. Make it an unforgettable one with Popped Corn. That's Popped corn.com. Imagine your guests grabbing their own mini packets of gourmet popcorn, custom stickers, incredible flavors, even a flavor designed just for your event. It's fun, it's personal, and yes, it's delicious. Popcorn event minis are perfect for graduation parties, weddings, reunions, and every celebration in between. Ready to wow your guests? Head to poppedcorn.com, click on event, and turn your party into something everyone will remember. Popped Corn, the treat that makes every party pop.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Rebecca Randen, attorney and owner of Randen Family Law, and she's also the training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute, and she's here talking about the collaborative divorce process and also Minnesota's growing collaborative law community. If you have a question for Rebecca, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. It looks like people are texting in asking again, what is the best way to get a hold of you, Rebecca, if they have questions or want more information?
Sure. It would be randenlaw.com to get a hold of me directly. And if they want information about collaborative law in Minnesota, and finding a professional or just learning more about the process and finding resources, collaborativelaw.org.
Mm-hmm. All right. And then right on the front page there, it says Find a Professional. And so you can click that, and then you can go by county, by name of the attorney, name of the firm.
The type of professional.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you've got plenty of ways to find people, or just contact Rebecca, and she'll help you navigate through that as well. Let's talk about, so last segment here, let's talk about the process.
Yeah.
So that people can get a better handle on what it looks like, especially for somebody who may have gone through divorce and has had more of the traditional adversarial, like say, petitioner, respondent, serving, all the crazy things that go in with law. Let's just talk about that here so people can walk away with a fresh idea of what is the alternative.
Sure. And again, what's so wonderful about the process is the attorneys are collaborative with each other.
Yeah.
And so often there's so many good family law attorneys in the Twin Cities and in Minnesota and around the country, but it is so easy to make a misstep with one wrong communication, one wrong turn of the phrase, one wrong question. And it's just so easy for attorneys to really make a mess out of something. And families, it's an ecosystem, it's a sensitive thing. And what you don't want is a professional making things harder than they already are. So I'll start with that and say that just to give you an overview of the process, if you were coming in through, traditionally an attorney, you would contact me or any of the other attorneys listed on the website, collaborativelaw.org, and you would have an initial consult. And we would talk with you about the process, and you would say, that sounds just great. And we would say, well, it requires that your spouse also be on board with this process, because the big difference is nothing gets filed in court until the final order is signed. It all takes place outside of court.
So it's very private then, in that sense.
It is. It is very private, and that's one of the things clients really like is often we're able to file, and most often we're able to file the divorce decrees with a confidential cover document that really keeps their financial information out of the public record. And that is just a huge benefit to our clients. So nothing is filed with the court. Everything starts out with, eventually you get the two attorneys in place, a commencement meeting where the two parties and their attorneys meet and they sign the joint petition. Again, no one is the respondent or the defendant. Both parties are co-petitioners. We go over those documents, we sign them, nothing gets filed. Everybody signs a participation agreement that outlines the process, and it's really an agreement to show up in good faith. And it also explains one of the really important provisions, which is if this process falls out, if you fall out of the collaborative process and go to court, your two collaborative attorneys are required to withdraw because it's a protected process. It's treated as a confidential settlement process, which is not admissible in court. And I will also say that less than, I believe, 5% of collaborative cases fall out. So there's not a huge risk of that happening.
Wow, okay.
At that first meeting, parties identify their big picture goals. They're often shared goals, and those goals keep us kind of anchored in the individual process for that family. And then after that, the attorneys kind of step back. If the parties are working with neutrals, they really have the next several, maybe 2 or 3 meetings with their neutrals. Attorneys are not present for those meetings. They're considered information gathering meetings. Mm-hmm. Once that information has been gathered by either the financial neutral or the child specialist, a work product is created for the parties, and that can look like either a balance sheet or a cash flow analysis that, again, has been created by both parties with the neutral, or a parenting plan that talks about parenting time and other safety concerns maybe. Just depends on the family. Then the attorneys can step back in and help the parties kind of evaluate their options. Because at that point in time, the options that are available to them are really apparent. They might have come in at the outset thinking or having one position, but after looking at the balance sheet, after looking at how the numbers bear out, or after working through things with the parenting professional, we're really kind of presented with some very apparent options. Mm-hmm. And that's where if the parties get stuck, their attorneys can kind of help them evaluate that and discuss. It's really not the attorneys, though, doing the work. It's really the parties doing the work, because it's their process. And eventually we come to an agreement, and attorneys step back in to draft those agreements, and then ultimately they're filed with the court.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. It seems like such a good process. I mean, I like the fact that the word collaborative really describes it. And I like the fact that you're not just abdicating your process to somebody else. You're involved in it. And I like the use of the neutrals.
Yeah.
What a great way to focus on an area that you already have maybe the overlap on the Venn diagram. Hey, we want to make sure we take care of the children or look out for their best interest as well. And start the common area and then work through the...
And who better to work on the children issues than a child specialist?
Right.
I mean, I didn't go through school to study, children's mental health. So it's the most appropriate for those folks to handle those issues.
Yeah. Well, we're at the end of the show, folks. I want to thank Rebecca Randen, attorney and owner of Randen Family Law, and she's also the training chair for the Collaborative Law Institute, for being here to talk about collaborative divorce. This has been great. We have to have you back for some more conversation. This is such an important topic and affects the majority of the people. So we'll have you back.
It's been so much fun. I really, really appreciate you having me.
All right. Well, join us again, folks, next Saturday at noon for another broadcast. And thank you for listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about your health and your life. Until next time, choose to live well.
AM 950 would like to thank everyone who joined and donated during our winter membership drive. Your support shows that Minnesotans still value an independent progressive radio station that delivers facts, not spin. AM 950 is locally owned, based right here in the Twin Cities, and dedicated to uplifting small businesses and diverse communities at a time when some voices are being